band called Whitesnake. This is David Coverdale, who's come all the way up to the Skylab to be with us
Bonjour,
today.
hello, and hello, Mark.
David, welcome. Do you have a message to our fans across Europe, and of course to your fans too?
Yes, this one. Slide it in, slow and easy, whatever.
We'll come on to slide it in a moment. You have just come back, not quite just come back, but you came back a few weeks ago from Rio, where you were appearing in Rock in Rio.
Or Hock in Rio.
Or Hock in here, as they say down there. Now, what happened there?
Well, we played to 342,000 people who went totally loopy.
One of your smaller audiences.
Yes, it was wild. I mean, it was incredible. We're going to be showing, well, hopefully utilising some of the video stuff from that for a sort of a snippet video cassette, presumably released in the summer.
Did you play more than once? I mean, they had...
Yeah, we opened the first day show, and the day before the end. It was bizarre because we had taken over 2 hotels completely, like George Benson next door, you know, and they tried to keep sort of the hard rock or heavy metal groups out of the way of James Taylor and stuff, and they ended up making more damage. It was wild.
How do you account for the incredible popularity of heavy metal music right through Latin America and in weird Indonesia?
I don't know. It's like the Beatles said years ago, if they could work out why they were so successful, that 4 of them would have become managers. You never know, but it's not a fashion music. And also, to be honest, I don't think of myself as a heavy metal musician. I've been in the business now for 15 years, promoting the premise of hard rock or rhythm and blues. Apart from this sort of makeup, that's the only thing I will ever sort of adorn myself with, and the odd earring. It's just, it's great physical and emotional release for people, particularly in depressed areas, industrial areas. It's very accessible for people to identify with and have a release along with the musicians. The majority of hard rock musicians are basically working class.
You were brought up in Yorkshire, in the...
Yes, a Yorkshireman.
North of England. You've lost some of the accent there.
It's Californian Geordie, I think.
So.
But it's been 15 years or whatever since then, and I did go to a relatively good school.
Is there any truth in this that you were 1 minute playing in a pub band up in Yorkshire, and then you were plucked from relative obscurity?
Yeah.
And next minute you were in Deep Purple?
Sort of a masculine Cinderella.
How did this happen?
I just auditioned. It's the same premise anybody else would do. I got in touch with their office. They were looking for a singer. And they said, send a photograph and a tape, which I thought, well, that was it. I knew if I had the opportunity of being there and sort of auditioning, you know, on site, it would have been a lot easier. I had to dig up all these old tapes with stuff from a very drunken session, which Bell Records had passed over. And I sent a picture. The only picture I could get was of my mother of me in a Boy Scouts uniform at a very tender age. And they presumably liked the humour in that, and I was invited down for an audition and got it.
Did anybody ask you to
shave this morning, yes.
To shave this morning, yes. And to somebody sticking their finger in? Did anybody ask you to consider having another crack with Deep Purple, with the reunion?
It's been, for the last like 4 or 5 years, there's been all these things. Cinzano wanted to do a Purple on the Rocks drink and all this, and have a festival in some Canary Islands or whatever, and just do a whole promotion thing for huge amounts of money. Because Purple still generate a lot of album sales now, particularly with the offshoots, when younger people are coming into the audience and being turned on by Whitesnake or Rainbow, or were Rainbow. Then they'd sort of look to the history of the band and pick up on Purple. So there's a continuing ticking over of the Purple stuff. And unfortunately not stuck for money. Nah. So it wasn't a case. I'm totally happy artistically and commercially with the way Whitesnake is. And I've got no desire to go back and be some kind of cabaret artist, you know, singing songs that I wrote 12 years ago.
That was Love Ain't No Stranger, and a video made in Francis Ford Coppola's studio in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's right. It's a place called Zoetrope. We took over the place for 2 days, and Frankie Baby allowed us to rehearse there for a further 4 prior to an American tour, so it was quite handy.
Do you enjoy making videos?
Not as much as a live performance, no way, because you have to kind of reconstruct the live ambience of the situation. But at this time we tried to get involved. It's the first time we've involved ourselves in scenarios on both Love Ain't No Stranger and Slow and Easy. It's sort of something other than the basic musical presentation. And if anybody's trying to work out what either storyline means, forget it, because it's just, you know, images. I mean, I wrote the songs and I don't understand them.
We are about ready for a new album from Whitesnake.
I certainly hope so, yeah. Things have been put into a bit of a freeze situation because we came back from Huck in Hiyo to Cozy Powell joining the dreaded remains of Emerson, Lake and Bullwinkle, or whatever. It's rumoured to be featuring Eva Gabor. I don't know.
Oh, cult status in Switzerland with Green Acres.
Grüne Acres, whatever Acres would be in German.
What is the lineup now of Whitesnake?
It's John Sykes on guitar, Neil Murray on bass, and Mrs. Coverdale's little boy on vocals. We're not going to make a decision on a drummer yet because I'll be leaving with John very soon to the south of France to write the actual next album, also co-relate all the bits that we've sort of built up over the last 6 months.
Where did you plan to record that?
We were initially going to Polar Studios in Stockholm. Does that get Sky Channel?
Yes, they do indeed.
Well, fine. I might even go there. I'll only go to places where Sky Channel is going to be.
A bit cold at this time of year, probably.
Well, we're there to work. I mean, the thing is, if you're going to do this kind of thing, if you go to a fun place, it'll usually take you twice as long or 3 times as long to finish the album. And it gets very, very expensive. There's no reason why a rock album shouldn't take like a month maximum recording the basic things and 2 to 3 weeks maximum mixing.
You have beside you
a frisbee.
A frisbee,
yes,
which has "slide it in" written on it, and a picture of a girl with a snake
with terrible arthritis. 17 years old from Munich, first modelling assignment. The reason we couldn't use any more of her face was she fainted as the snake went down her dress. We got 2 snakes because one was, we thought one might get tired. We didn't anticipate the model would faint, so we had to get another one for another model for the back.
This is Slide It In with remix versions of all the tracks.
Yeah, this is a US version that went out and has been wonderfully successful over there.
Remixed by Keith Olsen.
Yeah, that's right, who's responsible for many things.
Available at good record shops everywhere.
Yes, yes, yes. This is, it's been sort of, we're releasing it here as sort of public demand because the situation, it's been on the hard rock heavy metal charts, like import charts, for 6 months. And there's no control that we have over this, you know, people sending the stuff in. But kids are paying like 10 or 11 pounds for it, it's out of order. So now they have a choice to pick up on this or whatever. But it also features John Sykes and Neil Murray, whereas the normal European one doesn't. David, thank you very much for coming in. Good luck in south of France, getting some new tracks together for the new album, and I'm sure we all look forward to hearing them. Do you have any sort of date set for release of a new album? Well, initially it was going to be June the 1st, which is totally out of the question. I'd like to think the end of July, August would be great. David, thanks for coming in. Have a good time in the south of France. I'll say goodbye to you now, and we'll go out looking at Slow and Easy. Thank you for your hospitality.